Welcome to the 2D Web Solution Show, the podcast that provides freelancers who are wanting to make more with WordPress, the solutions to create a plan, take action, and experience success. And now, here are Arelthia, Phillips, and Carron with their next 2D Web Solutions episode.
Hey guys, thank you for being here for episode number 28.
We are back again, and today's topic is the importance of having your own website.
Okay, so Kerry, first question here, I'm going to start us out. If I have Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and LinkedIn and all this other stuff, what is the purpose, or why do I even need to have my own website?
There's a number of reasons, I think, Arelthia, and it's so funny that we have so many people in our industry who build websites and don't have their own websites. But, you know, the main reason I think that you really want to have your own website is so that you have the real opportunity to begin to attract the types of clients and customers that you really want to attract. So you're attracting your ideal clients. You're not just attracting random traffic.
Okay. So like in this situation, I can show my expertise, like build my reputation, authority, credibility, all that stuff and it's kind of weird. It's kind of like you need to walk the talk. If you're telling people that they need a website and it can do all these great things for them, then you should have a website.
Absolutely. And you can increase your credibility and your authority on the topic when you provide proof via testimonials or write articles that show that you're current in the industry standards, you have the knowledge, you know how to apply the knowledge and use the technology that's out there.
And I think this makes me think, and this is something that I've been pushing for years and years and years, and it's that your website is your central hub. When it comes to starting your marketing process, your website is the center of everything for you. It should tell people what you do and who you do it for. Basically, let people know who is your ideal client.
That is so important, and that's a perfect thing to touch on, Arelthia, that you hit it spot on when you talk about when the person who visits your website can look at your website and know exactly what they're getting, and if they are that person, to be the one who works for you. So, all right, we know now the purpose of a website. When do I need a website?
Now. You need a website now. You don't have to have a finish. It does not have to be because let me rephrase this. Your website is going to be it's going to be living kind of, in that it changes over time. You're going to try things. It may not work. You may need to pivot in a different direction, but you're going to be steady changing it to improve it, to get your message across in the way you want to get it across to the right people, so that you're attracting the clients that you want. So starting out, Kerry, I think it's okay to start out with a minimum website, just get out there, put it out there, start, take action and start it.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. It doesn't need to be a finished product. It doesn't have to be perfect. I know there's a few people in the industry, just push publish, get it done, get it out there.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be perfect, and it shouldn't be, because as you develop yourself and you develop your business, you are going to understand and realize who your ideal client is, because it's going to be more perfectly defined as time goes on.
Yes.
Now, you mentioned that you want to put out a minimum amount of information. What do you need to have in order to launch a website?
Okay, so again, we said it is going to change over time, but if we want to talk about the parts of a website that you should have, you should have your homepage, with some type of call to action, ultimately to grow your list, because you want to grow your list, your audience that you can continue to communicate. But we'll talk, we could do a whole podcast on that alone, Kerry. So just have a call to action where people can maybe opt in or get a free consultation. What else is important on that homepage, Kerry?
Well, I think you should probably also have some sort of a menu or navigation so that you can get to other parts of your website and so that your visitors can get to the parts of the websites that are important to them.
Okay. Okay. All right.
We also, for me, in order to establish a reputation and create your authority on any particular topic, you're going to need a blog. You have to establish a routine of regular posts. And they say that consistency is the way to accomplish that. So you don't have to publish something every single day at first, especially when you're first beginning and you're getting your, it's a big deal to even get a website out there. So start small, maybe post something every month and build from there as you build that into your process, as you build that into your business. But most importantly, you have to have the information on your blog that's useful to your ideal client. Can you tell us more about that, Arelthia?
Oh my goodness, that is so important. Make sure that it's useful for your ideal client, not just to get website traffic, but it's useful for your ideal client. You want to use the correct language, terminology that they will understand. And you want to make sure that the content that you're reading, that you're writing is about topics that your clients actually care about, that you're meeting their wants and needs. Notice I start out with wants, Kerry, and not needs. Because people want one thing. They may need something else, but they want something else. They want something specific. And so that's important. Like, don't make the mistake I made of writing for an audience that was not my ideal client. Yes, it brought me a lot of traffic to my website, but it was not the kind of traffic, not the traffic from the people that I actually wanted to be my client.
So what does the consequences of doing that, the mistake that you made, what happened when the information that you put out was not for your ideal clients?
It started to be that the people that were coming to my website, they were just looking to the answers to their problems, which I was providing them the answers to their problems, but it was just not bringing me customers.
Gotcha.
And so, did I end up using that in a way to help me? Yes, I did. That was a pivot on my part, but it's so important to make sure that you're writing for the people that you want to do work for.
Right. And that they end up taking action, which brings us to the next thing that needs to be in your blog, which is internal links. When you're writing these articles and you're providing this information, you need to link directly to some of the things that you offer, whether it be products or services. You also need to link to your contact page so that people know how to get in touch with you. Mm-hmm. And so that when that ideal client is there, they know that they can hire you, i.e. you are going to make some money and have a profit and be able to help them. All of these things. You could even link to your opt-in so that you can start growing your list.
Yes. And something else you can do, like if you want, you could add after each post, each one of your blog posts, you can add your opt-in form after every blog post. Just a real quick plug for myself, with the add widget after content WordPress plugin that allows you to add an opt-in after each post. You can even do it where based on the category that the post is in, you add a different opt-in for each category. So that could be for a different service or a different offer. So Kerry, what about like linking to external sources?
There is a lot of debate out there on where your external links should go. A lot of people say don't link to your competition, but I think the important takeaway is something that you mentioned while we were preparing for that, and that's to provide support to your own credibility. You want people to understand that what you do has value, and that, if you link to someplace that has some super high-tech information on it that is related, that might be the perfect opportunity to let your ideal client who is less than technical, perhaps, understand that, if I go to this person, then I'm going to have to know how to do this, and I don't. Let's go back to Arelthia and hire her because she's going to do it for me. So yeah, that was really an important distinction to make about where those external links go.
Okay. All right. And so, other than a blog, it's important that you actually have like a page where you show the services that you provide or the products that you provide. Not all on one page. Like I wouldn't mix services and products, but you definitely need a way for people to see what services you offer.
Does it have to be a finished product or service? I mean, how does somebody who does never necessarily done any of this work before, what would that, can you give me just a general idea of what that might look like?
For a services page for someone that's never done this type of work, I think this goes back, Kerry, to where can't remember the actual episode number. We'll have it in the show notes when the podcast actually comes out. But we did an episode on actually how to create your packages and your services and decide what services you're going to offer. And so you at least want to start out with, I'm going to say, Kerry, at least one service that you're offering, because
Right.
you should at least know one problem that they have that you can solve for them.
I remember one of my first websites, and it was a very simple product. And that product was simply the installation of WordPress. And if that's where you need to start, that's where you need to start. So you could create a page that said, I install WordPress, and here's what you get when I install WordPress. And just lay it out, keep it simple. It doesn't have to be anything beyond that. You're going to attract that type of customer. And then if they need something more and it's within your realm of capabilities, you can always offer that as an additional service.
Yes. All right. So let's talk about pages, Kerry. When it comes to your about page, what's like one of the important things you want to make sure you do?
You want to tell your story, but you want to do it very specifically and very intentionally. You want to allow your personality to show, and you want to explain why you are in that niche. You want to describe who your customers are and why you want to help them, as well as what you provide to your clients and customers. And what you provide to them may be as simple as a link to that services or product page, but that about page really needs to encompass the benefit to the customers and the clients, not the features. So keep it as you don't want the focus to be on you as much as it should be what your customers and clients are going to gain from doing business with you.
Yes. And as Kerry said, link out to your services. Also, link to your contact page. Make it easy for people to get in touch with you. Make it easy for people to hire you to provide that service or to buy your product.
Yeah, that brings us to the next page that you need to have on your website, which is that contact page. What would you put on there?
On your contact page, I think you need your hours of operation, an email form. Also, like if you have a separate business phone, put your phone number there. And then, Kerry, what else do you think should be included on the contact page?
I work with a lot of customers and clients who are not in our industry necessarily, but a lot of people, if they're doing local work, you accept office visits to your home office or wherever you may have your office, you may want to include an address. I have had customers say to me, well, you don't have an address on there. How do I know you're legitimate? So having an address on there, that's an optional thing that you could have. Some people don't want their home address if they're doing business from their home. Some people already have it out there and it doesn't matter and they're okay with that. That's a personal choice, but having an address, and also if you are local, having a map to how to get to your address. That could be key.
And that's important, Kerry, especially if you are going to have your client come into your office to sign that contract. It's important for you to actually have that address and map on the website so that they know up front, okay, this is a physical place where I go. And then when they're actually going out to it, they can easily get to it. So, Kerry, what's our action plan?
The action plan for this episode is to start attracting the right clients with your website.
Okay, so guys, this episode was all about helping you get your website out there. So your questions and comments, they're going to always help us or can help someone else. So go to 2dwebsolutions.com, leave your questions and comments, and thank you so much for being here.
Now go on out and create your plan. Take action and experience your success.
Kerry and Arelthia invite you to start your plan by taking this action. Submit your questions by visiting their website and subscribe to their 2D podcast at 2dwebsolutions.com.